Hey guys, welcome to Monday Morning Leadership. This is Brad Krantz. Hey, we're covering the 21 indispensable qualities of a leader by John Maxwell. Today we're going to be looking at number 8, focus. Okay, the sharper it is, the sharper you are, is the subtitle of that chapter. You know, Margaret Mead said that what people say, what people do, and what they say they do are entirely different things. Think about that one. You know, what does it take to have the focus required to be a truly effective leader? Let's think about that. Ask yourself that question. The keys are priorities and concentration. Okay, a leader who knows his priorities but lacks concentration knows what to do, but it never gets done. And then if their concentration, they have concentration but no priorities, they have excellent without progress, and that's not really going to get you anywhere either, will it? John Maxwell notes that he's frequently met people in leadership positions who seem to major on minor things, and that just doesn't make sense, does it? So the important question is, how should you focus your time and energy? So here's some guidelines, and I like what he says here. He's actually the first person that I really heard this from, but he says focus 70% on your strengths. You want to focus or play to your strengths, right? Not your weaknesses. Okay, and this is a really big one. He says effective leaders who reach their potential spend more time focusing on what they do well than on what they do wrong. And think about that. That's pretty much common sense. But Peter Drucker said the great mystery isn't that people do things badly, but they occasionally do a few things well. So think about strength is specific. And I'm going to give the example. I live here in Seattle, our Seahawk football team, Russell Wilson, great quarterback. Russell Wilson focuses on being a good quarterback, learning the skills, understanding the offense and all that. I'll guarantee he probably doesn't spend much time trying to develop basketball skills, or even with football, trying to be a good place kicker or be a good defensive lineman. That's not his focus. So strength is always specific. He plays to his strength, which is being a top-notch NFL quarterback. Okay? We're going to revisit that in a bit here too, I think. So to be successful, you focus on your strengths and you develop them, right? With my strength with leadership, that's where I spend my time here, and that's where you pour your time and energy. That's what I'm trying to do, and your resources too. And then you focus 25% on new things. Now here's why. Because growth equals change. If you want to get better, you have to keep changing and improving, right? If you're standing still or you're in a river and you're not paddling, you're going downhill, okay, whether you like it or not. You're going down where the river leads you. And that means basically you've got to step into new areas. We don't want to forget this, that in leadership, if you're through growing, you're through, right? That's development, personal development, growth. We're going to talk about that too, is an ongoing process. It doesn't just stop. And then lastly, focus 5% on your areas of weakness. Okay, now this is interesting. Nobody can entirely avoid working in areas of weakness, and you've got to work in those areas, but the key is to minimize it as much as possible, and leaders can do it by delegating. So a couple interesting examples here. I remember John Maxwell himself said at one point, his strength is leadership. He's not really a good singer. In fact, you wouldn't want to hear him sing or get up or do anything like that. So it would be silly for him, as he's not a good singer, to work on his skills as a vocalist. It doesn't make sense. Okay, you can still sing along with church, all that, but you're not going to focus on it because you're not going to get that much better by doing it. But those areas of weakness that we all have, we want to delegate those to the right people. So again, a good leader knows how to delegate. A leader doesn't know everything, but they know enough to find the right people and delegate those tasks where they don't have the skills specifically or aren't their strengths to those people. Okay, so let's reflect on this a little bit with some questions, okay? And just ask these. They're kind of rhetorical questions, but feel free to ask yourself these. How would you rate yourself in the area of focus? And then, have you been majoring in minor things? Okay? And have you spent so much time shoring up your weaknesses that you failed to build up on your strengths? And I like this last one. I'm going to talk a little bit about this. Do the people with the least potential monopolize your time? And if so, that you've probably lost focus. Guys, face it, we probably all heard, about the important versus the urgent, or the tyranny of the urgent. A lot of times and I have to watch this myself, is not allowing the tyranny of the urgent to overrule the important, especially what I do in my business as an entrepreneur, because there's all kinds of people that want your time and your money too, but if I spend time doing that, I'm not focusing on what's important. So we want to make sure we focus on the important and not allow the urgent to overtake that. Okay, again, if you do, I'll tell you from personal experience, you're going to lose your focus. But here's how you can get back on track, he says. Okay, so work on yourself. You are your greatest asset. Okay, I could say that over again. To personal development is super key here, right? You got to work at your priorities also. You have to fight for them, right? Again, your time, trying to focus on the important versus the urgent. And then work on your strengths. That's going to really help you reach your potential. Russell Wilson, to be a MVP NFL quarterback, of course, focuses on his strengths. That's where he's good. That's where he's always trying to develop. Anybody else, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, etc., they focus on their strengths, and that's what we need to do in the business arena or as leaders as well. And then you want to work with your contemporaries. You can't be effective alone. Let's dispel the misnomer that there's such a thing as a self-made man. That may be true to a degree, but you didn't get there by yourself. If you're a self-made man and nobody helped you, you're not very successful and you don't have anybody following you. So realize you've got to, as a leader, you want to build a team, you want to build additional leaders. They are going to help you to grow. So to improve your focus, here's some suggestions as we close. One, again, shift to strengths, kind of a common theme here. Make a list of the 3 or 4 things that you do well in your job or business or your skill set, and then ask yourself, what percentage of time do you spend doing them? I spend a lot of time talking about and doing videos on leadership. That's one of my strengths. What percentage of your resources are dedicated to these areas of strength? And devise a plan to make changes, allowing you to dedicate 70% of your time to your strengths, right? That's playing to your strengths, what he said already. Staff your weaknesses, right? Identify 3 or 4 activities for your job, your business, your skill set that you don't do well. And again, those you determine how you can delegate those jobs, tasks to others as a leader. There's other people that are gifted in that area. That's where you want to focus. And then you want to create an edge. Now that you've looked at priorities, think about concentration. Okay, what would it take for you to go to the next level in your main area of strength? Okay, what new tools or skills do you need? Okay, thanks so much for joining me today, guys. I appreciate it. As always, feel free to hit the subscribe button if this message benefited you. I certainly hope it did. And also, please feel free to connect with me on my social media at the links provided. Have an awesome Monday, guys. Bye-bye.